All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Public Nuisance Podcast. I am so fucking stoked right now because I have my man Kyle Smith here. Man, love this guy. Love this guy. When I started the podcast, I asked him if he could come down and do an interview, and he made the time. And man, I can't thank you enough, man. Kyle, I really appreciate you, bro. So, we're going to get into this, get a little weird, have some fun. And so those of you that know Kyle, you get to know more about him. But a lot of you guys that don't know, get to know Kyle, you're sure going to learn a lot today. But Kyle, so man, how you been, brother? How's everything?
Very, very tired, very blessed, very happy. Trying to think. We just got home 8 days ago from tour and then leaving again Saturday night. So
Yeah, how long has this tour been?
this last one, what was it called? It was
Grill 'em all?
the Grill 'Em All tour was like 7 weeks, and that was basically to Boston and back. I'm trying to think. This last one with Tropidelic was called the To the Surface tour, and that was with we were direct for a band called Tropidelic. So that one was like 5 weeks. And they were about to handle the last week in Texas. It's just 5 shows out and back.
It's crazy, man. Because you come from Ventura. Not a lot of musicians make it big. And my daughter saw you in Maryland in a packed house in Maryland. And she said you guys were great. She'd never seen you before, and so she brought 4 of her friends. And you got fans all over the country, man. How's that feel?
I don't know, man. It's trippy. It's very weird that we can play 2,500 miles away from home and sell tickets.
Yeah.
It's like mind blowing to me. But I think social media has been a huge part. Just being present on social media and sharing everything you can with as many people as possible all the time. Has been
And your music
huge.
kicks ass, so that speaks for itself. So
I appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's pretty surreal sometimes that we have so many friends everywhere. It's nuts.
Man,
Very lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And, your whole band, man, you guys are great. You guys have played here a couple times, and I know the last time you played here was the first sellout here at
Ever?
a home show, right? Ever?
Oh, yeah. I guess first time we've ever sold out at home. Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Yep,
this place
in
was
Ventura.
packed. What a great night that was. That was fantastic, man. You guys killed it. So kind of away from the music, people that really don't know much about you or anything, what's your backstory? Like, what's your history? How'd you get to this point? You know what I mean? Like, what is your motivation? How'd you get into music and all that?
How much time do you have? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Damn.
We got all day.
How did we get here? Oh my God, that's such a loaded question. I guess what really, really got me to fall in love with music when I was a kid was my dad sitting me down by the stereo back when we had cassette tapes, and he would be slamming like Black Sabbath, Nirvana. He really, really loved Neil Young, classic rock. He had just a huge, wide variety of all different kinds of bands, and he was very big on. It's so weird because he doesn't play any instruments, but he has this like attention to like, do you hear what they're doing there? And he would literally like fucking make me sit down and listen to this shit. And he'd be like, do you hear what they're doing with the guitars there, Kyle? And he would fucking do that all the time on the radio, in the truck, in the stereo. And it really, really made me like curious as to how all these guys made this fucking awesome shit and the instrumentation that it took to make that. So I got my first guitar when I was 7. I played a little bit of drums when I was 12, and when I was like kind of learning, I played like a lot of like metal, hardcore shit, a lot of double bass, like Avenged Sevenfold type shit. And then when I was like 14, 15, just started smoking weed every day. It was like sublime, sublime, sublime,
Yeah.
and slightly stupid. And when in like 2008, when like the whole SoCal reggae scene really popped off, like Revolution and Stupid and Tribal Seeds and all those guys really like took off. Was when I like dove into all that shit, and I just fell in love with the music and just how simple but good it was.
Right. Yeah. Because I know the media team was asking me, what the kind of music, and I was like, it's like a reggae rock type of thing, this jam, you got a lot of Sublime. It's funny you said that, but so, what was your first band? Like, when did you start making your own shit? You know what I mean?
Damn, man. I mean, I kind of wrote songs like occasionally when I was like 16, 17, but I never did anything with them. You know what I mean? I always just, my head was, I was just so hard on myself. I just never let any of that shit out. You know what I mean? I never wanted to play in front of anyone. I never wanted to do shows. I literally just like, it was something that I did at home for fun, you know?
Was it like stage fright, or you just
Yeah,
didn't want
yeah,
to,
that too.
just didn't feel confident getting in front of
Definitely.
people?
Yeah, I mean, all of it.
Yeah,
you know?
all of it, yeah.
Anything that makes you think like, oh shit, what if they don't like me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to really, really care about that. And so much to where I would let it suppress my fucking dreams. You know what I mean? And when I was like, I remember when I was like 13, 14, I was like, I really, really want to be like fucking Jimi Hendrix one day. And I was like, I wrote it in a journal when I was like 10. I really want to be like Jimi Hendrix one day. And, but I don't know, I guess just heavy drug use when I was like 14, 15, 16, and just completely going off the rails when I was like in my, late teens. Completely just took me away from all that. Like I would do it as a hustle, and I would panhandle, and I would do it for money. But I really lost the passion for it just because I was kind of like soulless at the time. So when, after I got clean and stuff and started doing recovery after a few years, when I learned that I could play and sing again, was when I really started falling in love with it again, and writing songs, and then like putting little stuff out on Facebook every now and then. One day one of them got a bunch of views, and I got hit up, you should make an album. And then the rest is just shows and playing live and shows and shows and shows and just nonstop touring.
Yeah, because I mean, I know I've talked to you before, man, and such a, you got in pretty deep, into your addiction, and not a lot of people can come back from that, and your story is incredible, and I think it inspires a lot of people, a lot of young kids out there that, are getting into the heavy shit and, taking them in the wrong direction. I mean, you're a shining example of what you can do. You can get past all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I see it all the time. I hear you talk about it, and it's that's a lot of people can come back from that. A lot of people drag them down, man, and you're a shining example of that. And if you want to talk about that a little bit, what got you into the heavy shit and stuff like that? Was it just being a dumb teenager, or was it just lack of confidence, or just not really sure, and kind of what brought you out of it?
All that, man. Just having not really having guidance, and a lot of no guidance, unsupervision, fucking a fucked up head with a lot of feelings and emotions, not knowing how to process things like as a young adult. You know what I mean?
Oh, I went through the same shit. Yeah.
Nobody ever taught me like, hey, when this happens, like, just, know that everything's going to be all right. Don't hit anybody. Don't freak out. It was always just like react. You know what I mean? And when I first started doing like heavy downers and like heroin and shit, was like the first time I ever like didn't care. I mean, technically when I was like 13 and I smoked weed for the first time, it was like all this fucked up shit I had going on in my head, like all these emotions I had, like, definitely went away. But then as my tolerance grew, it just went on to more shit, and I kept just trying more, trying this, trying that, and then it ended up being like heroin was the only thing for me that would like knock my ass out to the point to where I couldn't like think about how much I didn't fucking like myself, and because of my, just because of my shitty decisions and my, my whatever the fuck I had going on, man, and can't blame it on anybody,
Yeah. Well, I know that shit took you rock bottom. You know what I mean? And because
real quick.
Tell me before you sleep in your car, not knowing where you're gonna go, and
never had a car. Never fucking had a car.
Yeah, fuck, dude. But yeah, so what inspired, was it the music that helped you get out of it? Was just you just looked yourself in the mirror one day and was like, man, fuck this, I'm gonna get my shit straightened out, or did you have some friends help you along the way? Kind of,
I was
what was
forced.
It?
Yeah, I was totally fucking forced out. My mom found me in downtown Long Beach one day. She didn't hear from me for like 2 or 3 years. And she just, she was always like trying to find people that I was connected to on social media. Like, have you seen my son? Have you seen my son? You know what I mean? And she did that for a couple years probably. And then, she just found out that she somehow got an address of like the trap house I was staying at. And then she went there, and the guy that owned the house was like, I heard he was down on 2nd Street panhandling for money in Long Beach. So she fucking came down to Long Beach that day, and she walked up and down 2nd Street for hours looking for me. And I saw her, and I was tweaking balls, so I went and I jumped in the dumpster behind Rite Aid. And I was hiding.
Wow.
I was hiding from mom in the dumpster behind Rite Aid for like a couple hours, and I came back out and she was like still waiting for me. And so it was like this 48 hours of her and her fiance chasing me back, and all of us fighting in the middle of the street for like 2 whole days, just trying to get me into a treatment center. And then I finally got to the point where it was over by the government center, and I'm like surrounded by cops, and they're just like, dude, if you go to treatment right now, we'll leave you alone. And I was like, fucking deal, you know? So my plan was like to fool everybody and to get everybody off my ass and make them think that I was clean or whatever. And then I ended up staying 30 days, and then I asked to stay another 60 and 90, and then I went, you know, they shipped me out to Riverside, and I fucking stayed out there for a year and got really rooted in like NA and shit, you know? So yeah, that's kind of how, I guess that's kind of what really, I was forced out, you know?
Yeah, that's man. You know, God bless your mom. You know, it's just not a lot of people, people. You know, kids have parents out there that will go searching for them like that. You know what I mean? A lot of them just let them go and just like whatever. But you know, your mom was here at the show. I remember her coming back in, man. She had smiles from ear to ear. I mean, she was so happy, and that was a great night.
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky, man. I'm very lucky to have 2 parents that really, really fucking care. You know?
And yeah, you got the new song. It talks about it. Yeah,
what we had.
What we had. It's awesome. Although my favorite song is Suits.
Hell yeah,
I love that jam. I love that jam. But yeah, so you come out of this this funky time in life, and then now you started putting a band together, and just sort of make the singles. Like how did you evolve from there?
You know what? What's crazy is when I had like 60 days clean, I was like, I'll never be able to sing without meth ever again. I literally kicked for like 2 months in this treatment center. You know what I mean? Like I was shooting dope for 3 years straight, like every day, and I was kicking, man. And like it took so long for my body just to like eat and sleep normally again, and singing was like the last thing that I ever thought I'd be able to do. So that was like my mindset. And then when I started kind of getting it back, I think I didn't really pick up the guitar again or start like doing anything with it till I had like 4 years clean. Yeah. So then I started like, making little cover videos on Facebook and shit. And my roommate would always be like, hey, you should fucking do something with that. Like that's really cool. And, me, I'm just like, no, nobody cares. I'm not that good. You know what I mean? Like I don't want, yeah, fuck yeah. So I think that just changing emotionally and spiritually has been such a huge, and just knowing that you're fucking worth it is such a huge part of like success in anything. You know what I mean? So what really drove me to kind of like pursuing that was just kind of a shift in my thinking. So there wasn't really any like moment that like something popped off, or like I mean, maybe that little acoustic video of Dope Fiend where I'm like playing with Mark with SoCal Trash, like back in 2017, we posted this video and I wrote this song called Dope Fiend, and it got like 80,000 views on Facebook, and like everybody shared it with all their friends, and it just kept going on its own. And I was like, maybe I got something here, So that video was the whole reason why I decided to start writing, Yeah, just to be, I don't know.
It's kind of cool when you get that moment in life when you realize, you know what, I can do this. You know what I mean? And you kind of get, you accept yourself for who you are, and you know what you can and can't do, and the confidence that comes from that. That's not a lot. It takes different people at different times in life to find it. Some never find it.
I'm still working on that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. You got a hold of it pretty good, man.
It'll never be that good.
But
it's still fucking loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still, to this day, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but you get mad respect every time I see you over the show. He's out talking to people, and I haven't met a person yet that says, "Oh, I don't like Kyle Smith." You know what I mean? Everybody does. Yeah, you probably know a few, but they don't come around here. But yeah, and you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and you give a lot of these, because there's so much music coming out of the 805s, and you've taken off with it. So it gives a lot of these younger bands that come in here and play and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, if Kyle can do it, man, maybe we got a shot." And that's that in itself. I mean, you probably don't even see it a lot, but us outside of what I mean, that are here and watching these bands and doing all this different stuff, and they hear everybody's talking about Kyle and this and that, and it's cool, man. It's just you you earned your stripes for sure, brother. Earned your stripes for
whole
sure.
Team, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very blessed. Yeah, if it's like that, then that's fucking crazy because I, I love making people feel like they can fucking do anything. You know what I mean? That's like my shit because I was, my whole fucking life I've been told what I can't do, and why shit won't work and fucking why, it's always been like the pessimistic side, like my whole life, like that's like the first thing, you know what I mean? Like in today's, for a lot of us, you know what I mean? It's like, I have this fucking crazy idea that like, I want to be playing to 2,000 people 5 years from now, and I want them all singing my shit. And like, you're fucking crazy, bro,
Well,
So
shit, they were all singing it here.
Yeah.
We had about 500 people here. We could have sold more tickets, but that's all we could hold.
no more. That was enough.
Yeah, that was great, man. But yeah, it's like see with me, you're always fighting something. You know what I mean? But I know who I am, and I've had to fight a lot of different things off. But when you're right, you feel confident about it. You just follow your heart. And you do what's right. But so like from now, like moving forward, you guys got any new music coming out? You got any big tours coming up, or I know you're busy, but I know people all over the country are watching this, and it's like, oh, was he coming around?
I have no new tours. No, I'm just kidding. We're working on a huge. I literally just this morning was like making like the final like whole tour flyer for like the gnarliest fucking run ever. For it starts January 5th. And I did already announce the Florida dates, so we're basically going to Florida and back, but it's like 20 shows to Florida and back, and then like 20 shows all over California. And it's like, yeah, we're basically doing like every area that we can hit after going on tour with all these bands with all the radius clauses and like dodging all these fucking, oh, well, you played here, so you can't do this one for 60 days within 120 miles of this town. You know what I mean? And it's like, my agent Tim fucking kicks ass at being able to fucking route everything to where we're not breaking any rules or pissing anybody off, because we like to not shit where we eat, So we don't break radius clauses, and the next tour is still very, very long. So it's called the Unmanageable Tour, in the spirit of not being fucking managed by anybody or being told what to do.
Cool.
And
and the no sleep tour.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
all
the Sleep
over,
When You're
man.
Dead tour.
Yeah, I remember I called you a couple weeks ago, and you were driving through, I think, Colorado or somewhere like that, and Denver, yeah. But hey, just so you guys do know, I'm gonna announce this February 2nd here.
Yeah.
Kyle Smith will be right here. Yeah, can't wait, man. It's gonna be fantastic.
I think we're dropping all those dates on October 31st. So that is about a week from now. So I won't get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. Hometown show. We'll be fine.
Yeah, hometown show. But so because I know when you were here last time, you did a Nirvana cover, which was sick. So like who inspires you? Like who do you listen to when you're just got your headphones on, you're chilling, you got some time? Like who do you rock to?
Dude, I listen to so much music in the car, and like we bang out like 13, 15-hour drives like constantly, and it is like fucking whatever the mode is on Spotify where it like adds in shit that they think you might like. And it like never ends, bro. It's like I could like, here, let me show you. My playlist. So I have this playlist called KS Influences that I made for like, people that listen to my shit, like, oh, you might like this. It's like, so the last like 10 songs I added to it, it was Suicidal Tendencies, Smut Peddlers, CKY, Agent Orange, The Distillers, Damian Marley, Unified Highway, which is Eric from Revolution's like solo shit, RBL Posse, super old school hip hop, Alien Ant Farm, Eminem, NoFX, a lot of punk rock. It seems like a lot of punk, but I'm obsessed with like really shitty punk rock, and like early 90s hip hop. You know what I mean? Like Gangstar and fucking Gangstar and like Old Nas and shit. You know what I mean? I love just like the instrumentals and like the crunchy drums. So my biggest influences, fuck. It's like I can't even like pick 10. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody. I don't know. I would say definitely Slightly Stoopid. Huge fan my whole fucking life, and they have been like total big brothers since we started touring and playing shows together. Like really, they've like I don't know, they've helped us a lot. Yeah, just like putting us on certain festivals and like putting in a good word, and like anytime letting us play Closer to the Sun down in Mexico and shit was like really really cool. So yeah, I mean I've known like a lot of those guys for years now, which is crazy because I was like such a huge, I mean, I still am, but they were like my idols when I was like 15, and now we're like, backstage, broing and, just hanging, so definitely Slightly Stoopid, Sublime, like OG Sublime, not really not too much of the new stuff. I'm trying to think, the Interrupters are a pretty big one for me. I love ska punk. I love Operation Ivy. I don't know, man. I love reggae, but I love the chaos of the fucking punk shows. You know what I mean? So any band that puts out like that, they derive some of the guitar riffs and some of the skanking and shit from like old school Jamaican reggae, but put like a super dark fucking twist on it. I love that shit. Head PE. Great example, dude. Like they fucking like when they broke out into the Bob Marley tune and then just like were screaming bloody murder.
What was that instrument that he had?
The melodica.
The melodica. That thing was badass. It was like a little piano in his hand, and he's blowing into it.
It's called a honer. That's yeah.
I don't know what that thing was, but I was like, wow, that was badass.
Yeah, the melodicas are dope. Some people fucking hate them. Some people fucking hate the melodica, and like I can't figure it out. But why? But yeah, it's a pretty common fucking reggae instrument.
Yeah. See, my playlist is, I'm a little bit older than you, so mine goes further back. Like, one of my favorite band early on was Oingo Boingo. When they came out, I was in like 6th or 7th grade. I was like, yes, this is the shit, and Danny Elfman and Talking Heads, all those guys, man, they were big back, when I was young.
Danny Elfman?
Yeah, lead singer of Oingo Boingo. Yeah.
We're not talking about the same Danny Elfman, are we?
Yeah, he does like Nightmare Before Christmas now. He's a voice of
the fucking singer of
what's the Skeleton?
What?
Yeah. He does all Tim Burton music now. He does all Batman. It's Danny Elfman. Yeah,
I know like a couple Oingo Boingo songs, but I didn't know it was fucking Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Danny. He does all the Spider-Man movies and everything now.
That's crazy.
He moved on. So like the Oingo Boingo still tours, but it's like the former members of Oingo Boingo. They haven't. Someone else sings for him.
Oh, he's doing like symphony shows then.
Danny Elfman just does his own show, but he does music from Tim Burton shows.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like he does like symphonies.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like Red Rock symphonies.
Crazy, right?
Damn.
He only does it like around the Halloween time. He does Hollywood Bowl and
stuff like that.
Today. Yeah, it's cool.
I learned that Danny Elfman is also the singer of Oingo
Boingo. Yeah. I remember he came out with red hair and everything, but that was way back, dude. That was 84, 85 when I was just getting into high school.
Dude, I'll listen. I mean, I love Super Old Bad Religion, Black Flag. I think when it comes to music like from the early 80s, I love like the shitty punk rock, you know what I mean? Or very like War is like a huge one for me. I fucking love War, dude. War is like one of my favorite bands. Like Lowrider War, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love War, and then like I'm trying to think. Like that crispy, I don't know, James Brown, huge, you know what I mean? James Brown, definitely. There's just so many fucking mind-blowing performers that, like, it's like no wonder you were a fucking superstar, bro. You know what I mean? Some people just blow my fucking mind the older I get, and I listen back deeper and deeper. You know?
Like Prince and, the Michael Jackson and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you what changed my life, man, was when I saw Michael Jackson do the moonwalk on TV. I was like... What was that? You know what I mean? Next thing I know, I'm in front of the mirror trying to do that shit. And, because that was it. Back in the day, that was it. You know what I mean? There was nobody like that came out. And, and then, as you get older, then, I started getting, like, more into the, like Rancid and, all that stuff. And Nirvana was huge, too, for me, because they kind of broke that barrier with the hair bands. Because I wasn't into, like, all the hair bands and MTV types of stuff. It wasn't me, you know what I mean? And, you know. But then when they came in, that whole Chili Peppers and all that sort of came out, that was perfect. I was like, yeah, perfect time in my life for it to come out, you know.
Kurt Cobain put an end to a lot of very bad hair metal. I
Yes,
will
he
agree.
did. Yes, he did. With one album, one song. Yeah,
So
sure
good.
did.
So good, man. Yeah, huge influence on me too. Definitely Nirvana. Yeah, Nirvana was a big one. Just knowing, I mean, and Rancid too. Actually, it's funny that you said Rancid because Tim Armstrong. I mean, I always beat myself up over my vocals and not being able to sing perfectly. And I'm like, when I hear bands like Rancid, like you're like fucking not even singing half the time. You're just like talking, but it's still fucking sick. You know what I mean? So like Tim just, you know, he just does this thing where he's just like yelling and like talking shit, and it just sounds so fucking cool because the song is dope. You know, so. Yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah, it's funny, man, to hear you talk about like you question your voice because sing because man, when you're on stage, man, you just flow with it, bro. You
Thanks,
know, it's
man.
just it's impressive, man. And man, you got a big future ahead of you, bro. You do, you know, and you know you got a ton of support here in 805. Everybody, you know, I mean, people can't wait for you to come back around here, and you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Ventura and Oxnard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and
Thanks,
then,
805.
yeah, and then my daughter Reagan back in Maryland, you know, she's got. They can't wait for you to come back there either. Yeah. So see, it seems to be a thing, man. Once people see you, and then they're at your show, you know, they're fans for life. They're down, you know.
I hope so, man. You know, I mean, we don't put on like the best show anybody's ever seen. Like the instrumentation isn't amazing, but we're fucking going nuts the whole time. You know, there's only 3 of us. It's me, Chris, and Scott, and it's fucking. There's no backing tracks. There's no fucking keyboards. There's no special effects or anything. It's like shitty punk rock trio, who like you know 3 guys that love fucking punk rock and play a little bit of reggae. And it works somehow because we fucking talk mad shit and roast the crowd and
Well, shoot,
fucking
you know,
go
Redwood,
nuts.
my man, head of security, he saw you the first time, and now he knows every one of your songs, every lyric, everything. I think he went down to Santa Monica to see
He's
you guys
awesome.
down
Yeah,
there.
we saw him in Venice.
But you know, I usually don't see him sing along music, and then you know, we put you on, and he's always like, fuck, you know, he's just getting
Sick.
down, he knows all the lyrics and everything. So
Hell yeah.
you know, it's contagious, man. You got that vibe, bro. You got that vibe, man. And you know, I'm honored to have you here today. You know, and it's you know. Yeah, it's worked out great, man. And you know, you could be here February 2nd, and man, I cannot wait, bro.
Grateful to have a cool place to play. I'm grateful to not play for an asshole who wants to fuck me for all my money. So, so it's very, very nice when somebody's like, "Hey, if you sell your tickets, you keep your money." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
you
fucking.
yeah, everybody was trying to get
That's
a
the
piece.
shit.
And I was like, yeah, 400 or 500 people. You know, we'll be fine. You know, we can sell drinks, and you know, you do your thing. And but I do that for like a lot of the artists. You know what I mean? I'm just trying, you know, especially the people that can only bring in, you know, so many people. You know what I mean? They need to get paid too. That's not, you know, it's their time, and you know that all their instruments cost money, and you know, it feels good at the end of the day when you're working really hard to try and make some music, and you get a little bit of cash for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially these younger kids, and you know, it was. But yeah, I mean, you're an inspiration, to all of them, man, and you know, you're an inspiration to me too. You know, just the whole thing of you coming out, and you know where you're headed now, man, and it's awesome, man. You're top notch, bro. Every time I give you a call, man, it's always like, "What's up?" Like right away. You know what I mean? Is there, you know, a lot of times, you know, people that you know, think that they're this or that, and you know, oh well, you know, never get back to you or this, that. Dude, you're right on point. You know what I mean? You're a gentleman and a rock star at the same time, bro. So,
Crazy. We try very hard to be professional and nice.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not always like that.
Yeah, well-
sometimes we have fucking long days, but
Oh, I bet. Man.
yeah, I don't know. It's very, very important to fucking be nice to the people that are paying your bills first off. You know what I mean? And you never know who's gonna be fucking writing your check later in life. You know what I mean? So I try not to burn any fucking bridges. And I don't know, man. I mean, I'll if somebody's like a real fucking piece of shit, or if I've like been fucked by them like royally, I might run my mouth a little bit, but for the most part, you know, I don't know. It's what it all fucking comes back. You know what I mean? It all comes back, dude. And if you're putting that energy out there, like I want if my name is brought up at any fucking venue or any band that's about to go on tour, anybody talking like I want them like, yeah, fucking nice guy. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
Yeah, that goes a long way, especially in your industry.
Yeah.
You know,
It's easy to
especially
be a
industry.
dick. it's very, very easy to be a dick when you just drove for 15 hours and you're like fucking trying to eat and someone's like trying to take a picture with you while you're eating, you know what I mean? Or if you're like at the urinal and somebody pulls their phone out for a picture at the urinal while you got your dick in your hand. It's like pretty fucking wild. It happens. It happens.
I bet it does. I bet you see all kinds of stuff. So okay. So before we end this thing, tell let's get a little funky, but tell something about yourself, a story that most people wouldn't know. Something like a rose story, just something off the wall.
Something off the wall that some people don't know about me. Oh my god. Deathly allergic to peanuts.
Oh yeah.
Deathly fucking allergic to peanuts. So my whole fucking life, I have. I found out when I was 4 by eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and fucking was like immediately on a gurney and like emergency room full of adrenaline, like keep this motherfucker's heart beating, he's gonna die. And then it's happened like a few times. I've had a few episodes at festivals or shows or whatever where I like accidentally eat some shit with nuts in it. So yeah, so that's one thing. Super random fucking fact. That's almost killed me a few times.
So no peanut butter and jelly in the green room.
yeah, no peanut butter in the green room. Fuck, I hate being that guy, but it is what it is.
I'm the same. Like, I don't eat cheese. You know what I mean? But, so then everything, people are like, oh, well, it's just cheese. You like this shit? I just don't. My mom don't eat cheese, But I know everything that has cheese in it, over a long time in life. But, yeah, like, because it's crazy. Like, all kinds of stuff has peanuts in it.
Everything.
Like candy bars, everything. And it's just like, and it's like one of those things, like, I wish I did like cheese. There's a lot of shit that has cheese on it, you know what I mean? And, it's probably like you see all these candy bar things. Like,
everything has milk and cheese in it, dude. It's like, yeah, fucking nuts. I'm trying to think, what else? I lived in Redding, up in Mount Shasta for fucking like 4 years.
Pennsylvania?
No, fucking California. So like Northern Cali. Like I'm when I was 13, I moved to fucking Redding and was like up there in high school for a few years, So whenever anybody asks, like, did you grow up in the 80? That's why I was reading your thing. It was like coming up in the 805. I was like, well, fuck, I haven't really been here. So like, I don't know. I've never lived in like one town for more than like 4 years or like 3 years as a kid. You know what I mean? So it's always like, it was Redding, it was Ventura, Redding, Long Beach, Riverside, and then now I've been here for a little over almost a decade now.
Yeah, it's funny because I went to school back in college back in Maryland, and my one of my good friends, he's from Redding, Pennsylvania. They went to Redding High School. I was like, oh, you went there? Yep. And but yeah, and it's what's it like? And is it different, the shows? Because I see a lot of difference between the shows back east and the West Coast shows. Just the way like the crowd is, and like
we're going East versus West Coast right now.
But it's definitely different. It's definitely different. Like just the way the whole scene is. It's like. But do you notice any difference?
What's really, really cool is whenever, so people want what they can't have, basically. Like in the touring world, it's like if somebody's coming around like once a year, you're like, we will fucking do anything to be at that show. You know what I mean? If you're if you're a supporter, if you're a diehard listener, and somebody's coming to your town like once a year, it's a very, very special type of energy that's like, this only happens fucking once a year. We're going to make the most of this fucking night. Yeah. And I try to like have that same mentality like every single night when we're on tour, even though we end up playing in that city like 4 times every year. But I don't know, like some of the places that we get out to like in the Midwest and like super like Boston or like anywhere really high up on the East Coast, they know that it's going to be the only show and they know that it's going to be a long time before we're back. So people really go out. You know what I mean? People go fucking off, and I think that towns that you play in like a little more, or more often, it's kind of more like lackadaisical. Like I'll see them whenever the fuck they come back because they're here like 3-4 times a year, Yeah. But I think that when you hit like certain markets where it's like a once every 2-3 years type energy, then it fucking hits way different, Some of the coolest shows we've had were like in the middle of fucking nowhere, you know what I mean, for like 15 people, but they were like losing their shit, Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's certain bands, that I'll go see and, they only come through like every so often, and you're just like, oh man, it's been like 5 years since I've seen them, and it's a big event, and you get there and, but yeah, it seems like, because I was in the East Coast for 30 years and back there, just like you thought more. The clubs back there are a little bit different, and just people are just going nuts in there. You know what I mean? Slamming around. There's no like no like circle pit's not even a thing back east. You know what I mean? It's just fuck mayhem everywhere. You know, and then you got here. You know, you got more of the circle pit, and you got more like
Pit etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely I don't know. I feel like it's different everywhere, and it also does depend on what what scene you're going to, what band you're watching. You know what I mean? What their fans are like. Like I don't know. Everybody's got like different types of fans. You know what I mean? And it's like it's trippy. Like if you go to like a huge mainstream show, like I went to see Blink-182 in fucking Phoenix, and I was like for sure like there's at least gonna be a pit for like 5 songs, and then like it was like super tame. There was one kid that like started kind of like shouldering, and this guy like grabbed him by his throat immediately and was like fucking stop. And I was like, damn, you're a piece of shit. But it was like I don't know, it's like crazy. Like
then you go see Lamb of God and they got the Wall of Death.
Yeah,
they split the whole crowd and everybody goes flying in.
Oh yeah,
that.
Down for that. I mean, but then we see I go to the same show. I go to the same Blink-182 show the next night in L.A. I literally went from Phoenix to L.A. and saw Blink twice. Both times I was in the pit. And fucking when it was like half the time it was fucking like whirlwinding, you know what I mean? Like when they played Damn It, like the whole motherfucking crowd was like, and it was just a special. I think it is different in other places, but it also depends on like the energy of the band and the people that go.
Yeah, because I remember seeing Social Distortion back in Maryland, and they did a Friday and a Saturday. And we were there on a Saturday, and we rolled in right when they started, and we just started going nuts and started slamming. And and Mike was like, "Oh, thank God we got some energy in here," because last night, I guess on Friday night, they all stood there and nobody did anything, and I was just watching them, and he's like, what the fuck? And then it was like the next night, it was just sort of mayhem. But
it's always different. I played shows in the middle of Montana where everybody went off and they fucking had a giant pit, and then I've played shows in Southern California in Orange County that normally goes like nuts where like everybody was standing still. It's just different. It's different every night. And Fridays versus fucking Tuesday makes a big difference too for people that work fucking Monday through Friday 9 to 5s. You can definitely feel the energy. It's a little different when you play on a Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're not going to get all slammed around because they got to get up and go to work.
Yep. They bounce early.
They don't drink as much.
Sorry to stay for your set, bro.
Friday night they're here. They show up half drunk and they're drinking on all
Hell
night.
Yeah,
and,
going hard.
Going hard. But well, man, look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, man, dude. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, dude.
I love dragging these out. I love getting deep. I love fucking whatever anything you guys can think of, man.
Yeah. So. One question, how's that burrito?
What, the one you made me?
Yeah.
Fucking bomb? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Everything I've ever eaten here is fucking fire.
You asked for the one, I remember I got you the burrito. The next, everybody's coming over, can I get a burrito? And back I just made everybody just throwing them out.
It was like 2 in the morning, and it was like 2 in the morning after the show, and the kitchen was closed down. He's like, hey, dude. He's like, the kitchen's closed, but if you're really hungry, do you want anything? I was like, give me a fucking burrito.
And then I had like a little like buffet line out there. Everybody started coming in. I was like, let's go. And just started throwing them out.
I love playing here, dude. This is the shit. I love this place.
Thanks,
I'm glad that we were able to come do this.
Yeah, they're awesome. Trying to make this, like a kind of like a little nostalgic place. You know what I mean? Like somewhere where locals are welcome.
I'm already tripping out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of cool.
I'm already like 16 in my room again, trying mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. This place will definitely trip you out too here. Definitely trip you out. But yeah, I try and keep a lot of eye candy. So when people come in, they see different things and walk around instead of you go to the same places, same walls, and you don't see anything. But make people want to come back, and a lot of I get a lot of influence from different people. A lot of stuff just from thrift stores, and I just paint it all up and just do different shit.
You do one for like every band that comes.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, wait till you're when you have right there. Who the fuck is? Yeah, that's it. Wait till you see we're gonna do your stage.
Oh
up,
yeah,
man.
we got our poster right there too, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah, grill them all.
Hell yeah. Dope.
So. But yeah, man, I'll have the stage ready to go for you guys, man. And
February 2nd?
February 2nd,
2024?
Yes, sir.
God, that sounds fucking crazy.
I know, right?
2024, let's go.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Well, hey guys, thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much, man.
You're so
It's
welcome.
fucking,
Appreciate
you're
you,
the man, bro. And hey, so you guys come out February 2nd, and also check online. They got a tour coming up. They'll have all that out probably the next week or two.
October 31st.
Yeah, no matter where you're at, man, make the time. Go and see these guys. If you have not seen them, you will not be disappointed, man. They fucking kick it. They are badass. And if you've seen them before, you obviously know what I'm talking about, and you'll be there again. So I appreciate everybody out there. Kyle, man, thanks again, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. So much.
Oh yeah, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.